Ugh. Good morning, everybody. This is Michael Everreef. I'm at Starbucks at 6th and Union again today in Seattle, Washington. And, I'm just sort of going for it in this talk, and I'm trying to loosen up a little bit or tighten up. When I look at it, I use a free association method to write song. That means a lot of talking to myself, usually. And I use a couple different formats. I use a soliloquy and a colloquy. Soliloquy being me talking to God, uh, which is what everybody says like you're doing when you're talking to yourself or you're talking to whoever. They try to figure you out. But they say when they do it, they're talking to God. So mind your business, right? Don't interject, don't interrupt, right? Unless you got something important to say, right? I mean that's how it works, right? And then the colloquy is what kind of scares people. They usually say you're crazy or not, as if you ask a question and you answer it while you're sitting there. Because some people go, "Oh God, why is this happening to me? Oh God, why is this happening to me? Oh, this is terrible, terrible, terrible." Well, that would be a soliloquy. A colloquy would be, "Oh God, why is this happening to me? Because they're a bunch of assholes. I wish I could do something about it. I'm going to kick their ass." That would be a colloquy, and well, the police might be alerted if you do that. So that's the way it works. So anyway, in songwriting, it's done much the same way. I mean, what we see on television, everything has been edited for content because they don't want you to think the artist is a maniac. But some of them have been like really pressured because in order to get a very sort of popular artist, sometimes well, uh, it's a lot of peer pressure, a lot of sort of what ifs, and a lot of pushing and shoving, a lot of bullying, a lot of hugs and kisses. Too, it's not all one sided, and it can make someone sort of skitsy like. I mean, I was told once that I had schizophrenia by someone who told me they were a competent doctor, and well, a lot of people disagree. They think I'm just a lonely person because I've never had the benefit of marriage with children or home ownership and car ownership because I was in school until I was about 29 years old. And, regular school, elementary, middle, high school, and then college, and then university. And I've attended academies in the armed services. And well, that all basically was finished when I was 29, 30, and I still sort of walked away empty handed, meaning no credentials to carry with me, except for a refrigeration card after I took a civil service exam that says I know how to repair heating and cooling equipment. And that was it. That was the only credentials they would give me. But I am actually a philosopher, according to the world's governments. I am legally a philosopher, and I have a license to sit there and talk philosophically if I want to about anything. So that's the way it is. But they exactly won't give me that card, keep my wallet, because I'm one person, I'm the boss man, and all of the ones next in line to be the boss say that's the way it is. If I'm going to be the boss, then they're going to basically form the business plan. I'm the CEO. They're the board of directors. So that's what they do. Of course, they were hired by other CEOs, so that's where that is. So I'm sort of a prisoner CEO, I guess, because they won't give me my card, so I can hire a board of directors of my own. And for that fact, they only give me $12,000 a year, and I have to tell people that I get it Social Security because I got injured on the job, and they think I'm a nutcase. And then they went so far as to accuse me of robbery and say I was a criminal. So I have to tell people they accuse me of being a nutcase, and then they accuse me of being a criminal, and that's against the law. You can't put somebody on permanent Social Security in a state prison. It is 100% against the law in all jurisdictions in the United States of America, and you can take that to the bank and cash that check if you think I don't know what I'm talking about, and then come see me, because I'll prove it in a court of law. What they did to me is illegal over there in Charlottesville, Virginia, where University of Virginia is, and the United States Judge Advocate General Law School is. Imagine that. The United States Army pulling a fast one, being slick lawyers, being lying, manipulative, conniving, twisted lawyers again. Of course, it isn't all of them, but the ones that did it, they shall give love a bad name, as Bon Jovi might say. Hmm. And they would probably say in their defense, "No, we don't give love a bad name. We give we give lawyer a bad name." Well, that's your job, ain't it, to be a lawyer? Would you get into that line of work if you don't love it? Oh, it was a way to pay the bills. Oh, what you trying to say? You an asshole or something? You trying to say I'm an asshole knowing I ain't? Go figure, huh? Or is it Goldfinger up your butt? This is a keyboard in front of this screen, so. And well, it's kind of hard to figure out why they would do such a thing because I've traveled the world, you know, appearing to be a band member to some of the people, appearing to be security to other groups of people. And then the closer you get to the courthouse during them days, they would give me like sedatives, or they would call them anti-anxiety medication, because it's very stressful putting on a concert and being part of the show. And that in order to stand in front of the courthouse in a sheriff CSO's uniform, they had to give me some medication while they sort of, you know, closed off the streets, put a roadblock up, the police and the sheriff, so that I could have my picture taken in my uniform after a successful venue, music venue and stuff. And well, that's all well and good. I didn't exactly get into government work because I thought I was winning the lottery, because it wasn't advertised to me that way. I got in government work because I literally wanted to be a police officer, a firefighter, and a sheriff. I didn't think in the beginning I would be all three, but I am, because the United States Marshal is a police officer, a sheriff, and a firefighter, amongst other things. But I'm also a refrigeration mechanic, a truck driver, a banker, uh, a medical doctor, electrical engineer, and I have many other qualifications. And my whole time in my work study program, I just wasn't touring around with celebrities that everybody knows is an actor or a musician. I was a truck driver, a cook, and a construction worker mostly. That's what I did while I was in minister college for 14 years. I worked 40 hours a week, and whenever overtime was offered, I was one of the first ones to speak up and say, yes, I will pull some overtime for time and a half. And my average wages in all those 14 years, I started out making the federal minimum wage, which was $3.35 an hour. And my last job that I got a paycheck for was $12.48 an hour. So I have never made a lot of money all at once, except when I got out of refrigeration school, I got hired to be a subcontractor, making $250 to install a furnace, a hot air furnace, and $350 to install a air conditioner, and $550 to install a hot air furnace and an air conditioner together. It would take me about 4 or 5 hours to for to install an air conditioner and a heater both for that $550. So that's about $100 an hour, $110 an hour, which was fine. And I got altogether hot air furnaces. The most I ever made in 1 week was about $2,800 in 1 week. And that was 1 week. And that was it. Just 1 week I made about $2,800. The average, when I was doing that for 6 months, the average pay per week was about 600 or $750. And then I got put out. I couldn't find a job, so I didn't make anything the rest of the year. So if you were to look at my tax records, you would say, oh, it was a rub. He didn't make enough money to owe his fellow government taxes. So that's the way it is. And some of them ride a little high, but they smart ass mouths. And in the government, when you're government, when you're being honest government, and somebody that you work with in government is being dishonest, that dishonest person is advertising that they basically will prostitute themselves. Because in government, that's exactly what it means. And if they didn't know that, they know it now. Because I have an extremely large following in the government. Because I have been a United States Marshal, since 1992, and I was a deputy marshal from 1988 to 1992. This is the year 2016. They thought I didn't know. Well, guess what? They was wrong again, and most of them would look me in the eye and say they don't care what I think about they prostituting. And they probably would put their fist up. I said, if you try to sell my ass again, I will kick your fucking ass. When you tell somebody you accept their money and they come around putting their hands on me again, don't let me find out where the fuck you at, jerk off. Even if you probably gonna come around today and hint around that you the one that tried to sell my ass to somebody looking to fuck me right in it. Because that was illegal of you to do. And you know it. No, I don't have my badge, and no, I don't have my gun, and no, I don't have my police, sheriff, firefighter ID, but I'm not a fucking wimp, and I will defend myself. Okay? Everybody know it now, okay? Everybody in military intelligence know it now, because the YouTube is part of military intelligence. And you all goddamn liars if you say you're not. And goddamn liars are not to be trusted ever. Not with my money, not with my woman, not with my children, and not with my friends. And even if I don't have anybody around here that's my friend, I believe in God, and I believe that as long as I say out loud, God the Holy Spirit is my friend, God the Holy Spirit will always be my friend. And God the Holy Spirit is the power that gave us all life. And for saying we not God's friend, God will take that life from us. So now you know. What you do with your own body is your business. You don't have the legal right to force somebody else to share their body the way that you share your body sexually. It's against the law. There isn't a man, woman, child in the United States at all, doesn't matter what job you got, that is allowed to sell their someone else's ass. In fact, you're not even allowed to sell your own ass. Okay? So why don't you stop with all your goddamn fucking arrogancy, egotistical ways? Stop acting like jerk offs and give us all a fucking break today. Okay, the state of Nevada says you're allowed to sell your ass, just not in the city of Las Vegas, right? Oh, and we're in the ninth district. So which is it today in Seattle? Is this really Las Vegas or is it Hollywood today? Where everybody pretends like they're somebody that they're not, Hollywood style, right? Or is everybody like Nevada today? Everybody just sells their ass except in the city of Las Vegas, which is it's not even the capital of Nevada. It's just where all the rich gun toting gamblers live. And they say they don't sell their ass, they'll sell yours. Unless that's just hearsay, right? Okay, now I'm getting a little upset. I need to calm down. I was going to sing a song today called Saturday. Of course, Elton John has already sung a song called Saturday. So, and it's probably kind of like the complete opposite of the song I'm kind of singing right now. Anyway, um, okay, this is just a Saturday conversation, which is interesting because I worked at the Public Ledger Building in Philadelphia, and that you remember the magazine called the Saturday Evening Post. Well, that's the building where they published it. They had the printing presses, and they put together the magazine, the Saturday Evening Post. I used to work there. In 1990, I worked at the Public Ledger Building in Philadelphia. I worked across the street, but it is legally part of the Public Ledger Building. I worked at Goodrich and Company, which is now a delicatessen. It's at the corner of 7th and Chestnut, and I was a delivery boy. I pushed around a hand truck and delivered boxes of copy paper and pencils and pens to all of the government offices in the city of Philadelphia. I walked around town, going in and out of those buildings, delivering stationery supplies right in front of everybody, 5 days a week for 8 hours a day. Last time I was back in Philadelphia, I saw guys my own age and about 10 years older, and I said, I'm a United States Marshal, and they said, yeah, right, drove away as fast as they could. In fact, my aunt, who's I'm pretty sure is a police officer, told me, no, you're not, like that, and got all up in my face until I looked her in the eye, and then she kind of turned her head a little bit, smiled like she was getting horny, and then she got up and walked away. Why did that happen? Huh? And if her little sister says that she is a lesbian, meaning she only uses men. Men are only good for one thing, and that's a penis with a heartbeat. What do you think the chances are her next oldest sister is possibly either gay or lesbian, gay lesbian, or bisexual? and possibly on the road to being transgender since she just had a hysterectomy. She's a nice lady. She's got a couple kids. I don't want to badmouth her. She apologized to me, sitting there talking, had a long talk, and she said she was sorry for being mean to me my whole life. And well, that was good enough, I guess, considering her level of responsibility to everyone. Trying to be accountable for the things she has done and well, the things everybody else did, trying to blame her for, just like the rest of us police officers. And well, sheriffs too, and firefighters. And I guess them security guards, you get a little upset when I forget to mention them. And of course, those security guards that are in the military, they would like me to say that the military is, well, carrying that same cross today as the rest of us. Anyway, well, okay, so here's my Saturday morning conversation. The Starbucks coffee house, where I'm a partner at. I'm a partner. They think I'm foolish probably when they get me to the house, probably going to remember that I'm a partner there, and they can just sort of do what they do, right? In order to catch some real bad guys. Craziest thing is, so they got me here now, right? And I'm walking around out in the open in front of everybody. And the controversy is he a Starbucks partner, or is he a crazy man with a cowboy hat that drinks a lot of coffee and thinks everybody there likes him? So, what you think is going on? Consider Homeland Security. The biggest part of it is from Texas. And I became a deputy in Colorado, where there's a lot of horses. It's sort of the mountains and the prairie, the Wild Wild West like. So what you think is going on? And the reason I get this hat, though, for real, probably is because I've been in Honduras and Guatemala. I used to pick coffee beans there, and I worked at the packing plant. Then we got back to America. I worked at a Starbucks, grinding it up and serving everyone coffee for a little while. Anyway, that's life, right? In the big city. I guess in the county, too. Especially in the South, take a good look around, see how big the city is. I mean, it basically is the county. You go out into the county, hey. Looks all right. Except some of it kind of looks like old-time army bases to me. Kind of like Virginia a little bit. At least some parts of Virginia. Anyway, I got to go. It was really good talking to you. It's been a wonderful audience. I got to go get my coffee. See you.